Welcome to the Growing Tall Poppies podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Nat Green, and I'm so excited to have you join me as we discuss what it means to navigate your way through post-traumatic growth and not just survive, but to thrive after trauma. Through our podcast, we will explore ways for you to create a life filled with greater purpose, self-awareness, and a deep inner peace. Through integrating the many years of knowledge and professional experience, as well as the wisdom of those who have experienced trauma firsthand, we will combine psychology, accelerated approaches, coaching, and personal experience to assist you to learn, to grow, and to thrive. I hope to empower you to create deeper awareness and understanding and stronger connections with yourself and with others, whilst also paving the way for those who have experienced trauma and adversity to reduce their suffering and become the very best versions of themselves in order to thrive. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. Welcome back to Growing Tall Poppies. I'm your host, Dr. Nat Green, and I am so thrilled to have you here as we continue our journey through the 7 trauma archetypes of transformation. So if you haven't listened yet, then head back to episode 33, where I initially introduced you to the archetypes of transformation. And if you've already done that, then thanks again for tuning in. And today, we're going to be continuing to explore another of the archetypes. Last week, we unpacked the strengths and determination of the empowered trailblazer, an archetype that embraces pushing beyond our perceived limits to step into a new, empowered version of ourselves. If you missed that episode, then I encourage you to check it out for inspiration and practical tools. And this week, we're shifting gears a little and we're shining the spotlight on the 4th of the archetypes, that of the Reflective Orchestrator. This is an archetype rooted in introspection, balance, and crafting harmony after trauma. If you've ever felt a deep urge to reflect on your experiences, craft meaning out of them, and create a life aligned with your core values, then this episode will speak directly to you. So, if you've ever felt the need to pause, reflect, and rebuild your life with a sense of intentionality, then listen up. The Reflective Orchestrator thrives on their ability to turn inward, to make sense of their experiences, and to rebuild their life with deliberate intention after having gone through their trauma. This archetype values harmony, not just externally, but also within themselves, focusing on aligning their thoughts, emotions, and their actions with their higher purpose. Reflective orchestrators excel at weaving together the lessons of the past to shape a present that feels authentic and balanced. They thrive on creating order from chaos. This archetype represents someone who has endured trauma and through deep self-reflection develops a profound understanding of their inner world and the external dynamics around them. So if you resonate with this archetype, you likely have a natural ability to see the bigger picture while also attending to the finer details of your healing journey. You're intentional in your actions, striving to align your life with your values and create balance. So let's start by looking at the Reflective Orchestrator's key strengths and how they can serve you in your healing journey. Firstly, introspection and insight. The Reflective Orchestrator has a natural gift for looking inward, analysing thoughts and emotions and experiences to extract the valuable lessons and uncover the patterns or insights that guide their healing journey. This introspection allows you to identify patterns, make sense of your past, and also find clarity around your next steps. They don't shy away from asking the big questions. Questions like, what can I learn from this? Or what truly matters to me? So some tips to help you to access this strength: dedicate time for intentional reflection. Journaling, meditation, or even quiet walks in nature can help you process your emotions and uncover insights. Let's look at journaling. Dedicate time for intentional reflection. Time to journal daily or weekly. Begin with prompts like, what is one lesson I've learned from my trauma? Or, what do I truly value in my life now? What patterns do I want to break or to cultivate? These will certainly help you start and move forward and get on your way. Secondly, meditation or mindfulness. Spend time in quiet reflection. Focus on observing your thoughts without the judgment. Guided meditations on self-discovery can be especially helpful. And then there's mentorship or therapy. Work with a coach, a therapist, or a mentor to help you identify your blind spots and to deepen your own self-awareness. And secondly, a core strength of the reflective orchestrator is that of creating harmony. Reflective orchestrators excel at crafting balance and order, even from chaotic situations. They're intentional in their choices, striving to align their actions with their values. This makes them natural peacekeepers, both in their inner world and in their relationships. Now, you have a unique talent for bringing balance to your life, whether it's managing relationships, structuring your daily routine, or integrating your past experiences into your present. Regardless, you strive for alignment. And this strength helps you navigate life with grace, even amid challenges. So a tip would be to consider using tools like vision boards, planners, or goal-setting exercises to create a life that truly reflects your own values. Reflect on what really matters to you and let that guide your decisions. So, to help you in how to access this strength, you could look at using tools for organisation, such as vision boards, planners, or apps like Trello or Asana that can help you bring structure to your dreams and your goals. Reflect on what brings you joy and let it guide your decisions. You could also look to declutter your life, whether it's your physical space, relationships, or commitments. Start by asking yourself, does this align with the life I want to create? Then you can look at practicing intentional decision making. So, for instance, before saying yes to something, just pause and ask yourself, does this decision honour my boundaries and my values? And thirdly, there's empathy and emotional awareness. A key strength of a reflective orchestrator is that they are deeply empathetic. Their ability to reflect on their own experiences often translates into a profound understanding of others. They are supportive friends, partners, and leaders who can hold space for others with compassion and grace. You understand emotions, your own and others, on a profound level. This makes you a compassionate friend, partner, or leader capable of supporting others while also maintaining awareness of your own boundaries. And a tip around these strengths are that while empathy is a gift, remember to protect your energy. Practice setting boundaries and take time to recharge after offering emotional support. A tip around how to access this strength: You could look to volunteer or mentor. Share your journey with others. Guiding someone else through a similar challenge can reinforce your growth and empathy. And connecting authentically. Practice deep listening in your relationships. Ask open-ended questions like, how are you really feeling? And what do you need right now? And finally, set emotional boundaries. While empathy is a gift, it's absolutely crucial for you to protect your own energy. Practice saying, I'd love to help, but I need some time to recharge first. Now, we've talked about the strengths for the reflective orchestrator, but as we know, of course, every archetype also comes with its challenges. For the reflective orchestrator, these challenges can include, firstly, overthinking and analysis paralysis. Your strength in introspection can sometimes lead to overanalyzing situations or perhaps becoming stuck in self-doubt. So when you find yourself spiraling, focus on grounding techniques like deep breathing or body scans, just so you can check in with yourself and set a time limit for reflection and then take action, no matter how small. Secondly, there's a challenge of neglecting our own self-care. In your quest to create harmony, you might prioritize others' needs over your own, often leading to burnout. So a tip to help navigate this challenge is to schedule regular self-care activities and treat them as non-negotiable. Ensure that they are strict appointments that you keep with yourself. Remember, you simply can't pour from an empty cup. And thirdly, we have the challenge of perfectionism. Reflective orchestrators often hold themselves to high standards, striving for an ideal balance that may not always be realistic. And a tip to help work on that is to embrace imperfection as part of the process. Remind yourself that progress, not perfection, is the goal. So let's look now at some practical tips for thriving as a reflective orchestrator. Let's celebrate the small wins. Acknowledge that every step you take towards healing is absolutely important. Create a wins jar where you write down your accomplishments and review them regularly. Acknowledge the process you're making, even if it feels really small or incremental. Every small step contributes to the bigger picture. And let's look at creating a reflection ritual, whether it's a morning coffee, a meditation, or a weekly journaling session. Find a ritual that fits for you and that helps you stay grounded and connected to your inner self. Then let's look to infuse joy into your day. Balance introspection with light-hearted activities. What makes you laugh? What makes you feel free? Or simply enables you to enjoy the moment. And then let's look to embrace fluidity. Life isn't static, and neither is balance. Allow yourself to adapt and flow with changing circumstances. And then I want you really to look at cultivating joy. Amid your reflection and planning, don't forget to infuse your life with moments of joy and spontaneity. I know for me, one of the things I love to do, wherever possible, is to watch a sunset. I love the awe involved in that and the feelings of joy it evokes within me. Now, to illustrate the reflective orchestrator, let me share a story about someone who embodies this archetype. Let me introduce you to Jane. Jane was a coaching client who embodies the reflective orchestrator archetype. After experiencing a sudden and highly traumatic loss, Jane found herself retreating into her own world of introspection, with her thoughts going over and over in her head. She spent countless hours reflecting on the events that had unfolded, trying to make sense of her emotions and the impact that the trauma and the loss had had on her life. Jane's patience allowed her to process her grief slowly and thoughtfully. However, she eventually realized that her introspection had actually become a form of avoidance. So, recognizing the need for balance, Jane began incorporating mindfulness meditation and time walking in nature into her daily routine. This practice assisted her to stay grounded in the present moment, preventing her from getting so lost in her thoughts, and allowed her that deeper level of emotional connection to herself. And through our work together, she leaned into her strengths of introspection and of empathy. And Jane also started journaling, which allowed her to organise her thoughts and her emotions and gain a clearer understanding of the way forward for her healing process. And as she journaled, Jane began uncovering deep insights about her values and her desires. She began setting boundaries in her relationships, prioritising her own self-care, and slowly aligning her life with her newfound clarity. And as a result, by combining her natural gift for reflection with mindfulness and self-awareness, Jane was able to move forward in her healing journey with greater clarity and emotional balance. She's proof that with reflection and intentionality, you can create a life that feels aligned and fulfilling. So does the reflective orchestrator resonate with your experience? If so, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on your strengths and your challenges. What's one small action that you can take today to create more balance and harmony in your life? Maybe it's journaling, setting a boundary, or simply pausing to appreciate how far you've come. I'd love to hear your reflections. Reach out to me on social media or join our Thrive After Trauma community on Facebook, where you can share your story and connect with others on a very similar path to you. And whatever you do, don't forget to take the Trauma Archetypes quiz in order for you to discover your own unique trauma archetype of transformation. The link will be in the show notes, so make sure you head on over, take the quiz, and let me know your results. And in our next episode, we'll explore the authentic warrior, another one of my favorites, an archetype fueled by courage and with an unyielding commitment to living in alignment with their truth. Until then, remember that healing is a journey, and wherever you are, you're exactly where you need to be. Take care, be kind to yourself, and see you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining me in this episode of Growing Tall Poppies. It is my deepest hope that today's episode may have inspired and empowered you to step fully into your post-traumatic growth so that you can have absolute clarity around who you are, what matters the most to you, and to assist you to release your negative emotions and regulate your nervous system so you can fully thrive. New episodes are published every Tuesday, and I hope you'll continue to join us as we explore both the strategies and the personal qualities required to fully live a life of post-traumatic growth and to thrive. So if it feels aligned to you and really resonates, then I invite you to hit subscribe, and it would mean the world to us if you could share this episode with others who you feel may benefit too. You may also find me on Instagram at Growing Tall Poppies, and Facebook, Dr. Natalie Green. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to look for the lessons and to learn and increase your ability to live the life you desire and deserve. So for now, stay connected, stay inspired, stand tall like the tall poppy you are, and keep shining your light brightly in the world. Bye for now.